Hello and welcome to the Upside Down Shack. It is official. The Duffer Brothers have confirmed that we are indeed getting a long finale for Stranger Things Season 5 and of course the finale of the Stranger Things series as a whole. The Duffer Brothers in a recent interview confirmed that the final episode that is going to be released standalone on New Year's Eve is going to be around 2 hours long. Now, this comes just days after Ross Duffer releasing the runtimes for the first volume of Stranger Things Season 5, which was met with a lot of mixed feedback from the fandom, some people having no issue with it, and some people thinking that they weren't long enough. Now, after that, a lot of sources came out and said, well, Volume 2 is going to be a little longer. They've got more story that's going to be taking place in Volume 2, and of course they have to piggyback off of what happened in Volume 1, so we're going to get longer runtimes in the next 3 episodes, as well as the finale. And while we still don't know the runtimes for Volume 2, as I mentioned, we now know the runtime for the finale, and it coming in at 2 hours is, I think, everything that we hoped and dreamed for. And not only do we know the runtime, but the Duffer Brothers also confirmed a couple key details about the finale, stating that we will know exactly what the Upside Down is by the finale. They also said that the finale wraps up everything, and that there will be a 30 to 40 minute epilogue in the finale. Now, these are all amazing details, but I'm just going to rip the Band-Aid off and talk about the one that most excites me, and that is that there's going to be a 30 to 40 minute epilogue, which I've seen many fans saying that that's an episode in itself, just for the epilogue. Now, Stranger Things is famous for a lot of things, but something I think it's very iconic for is its epilogues and its finales. The one that comes to mind is the epilogue in Season 3. And if you can watch that with a dry eye, then I think there's something wrong with you. But the reason I bring that up, because that powerful epilogue, I believe, was about 10 to 15 minutes. It felt like a long time. Now imagine that doubled, even almost tripled in length to wrap up the entire series. 30 to 40 minutes, again, is the length of a lot of other TV shows' full episodes. So the fact that we're going to get the finale for about an hour 20, an hour and a half, and then a 30 to 40 minute epilogue wrapping everything else up just sounds amazing, and I'm very excited to see that. I can only imagine this is where we're going to have our characters that make it out alive, of course, interacting with each other, maybe years later, maybe months later, reflecting on what happened and moving forward with their lives, hopefully very happily. We're probably going to see characters part ways from one another, whether they go off to college or decide to move out of Hawkins entirely. There are so many possibilities for these characters, and we're going to just have to wait and see where this goes. But a 30 to 40 minute epilogue to me just sounds like a 30 to 40 minute sob fest tacked onto a probably already devastating hour and 20 finale. But again, I've never been more ready, and this news is just so exciting. Now, to their other points, saying that it wraps up everything, it wraps up Hawkins, it wraps up the Upside Down, it wraps up Vecna, that is what I like to hear. I don't want any loose ends. I think I speak for a lot of fans when I say I don't want a lot of loose ends, especially when the Duffer Brothers on multiple occasions have said they don't have any intentions of doing spin-offs. All these characters' stories are going to wrap up nicely, and Season 5 is going to be the bow on Stranger Things for at least the foreseeable future, which is great. I'm not going to beat a dead horse, but I've said multiple times on this channel, I think Stranger Things, once the 5th and final season comes out, is just going to be the perfect show that I think should be untouched outside of course, they're doing the animated series coming out next year, and they do the stage play now, but all of those tie into each other in tasteful ways. I don't think we should be doing spin-offs or movies or anything of the sort, especially when the main show is over. So hearing that it's going to be a satisfying, no open-ended conclusion is just chef's kiss to me. Now, the last thing I want to talk about in regards to this finale, the Duffer Brothers also stated that the finale will explain what the Upside Down is. Now, a lot of people seem to be confused by this comment, saying things such as, well, we already know what the Upside Down is. It's a parallel dimension, people can get sucked into it, yada, yada, yada. That is what we know about it thus far, but there's still a lot of unanswered questions about the Upside Down. The main one being, why is it frozen in time on the day that Will Byers disappeared, as well as a whole other slew of questions that I'm not even going to bother getting into. So what I take from this comment by the Duffer Brothers is that by the time the finale comes around, we are going to have a concrete answer for every question we might have had about the Upside Down in the last 4 seasons. Because while so much lore has been added to the Upside Down, we don't have a lot of answers to why certain things happen. And I think we're going to learn a lot about that, and obviously we're going to learn about everything in regards to the Upside Down, according to the Duffer Brothers, by the time the finale comes out. Which is super interesting, and I'm very excited to see how they go about this, because the Upside Down, building its lore over the last 4 seasons, has just become so convoluted, in the best way possible, of course. Because when you think you have an answer to a question, 3 other questions arise from that question when talking about the Upside Down. I've seen theories saying, oh, Eleven pulled Will into the Upside Down to save him from the Demogorgon and told him how to survive in the Upside Down. But then you think about, well, if she can pull him in, why would she do it? Why would she not just escape with him? Why did she leave him down there? You know what I mean? It's questions like that that just make you go, we really still know nothing about the Upside Down. So the Duffer Brothers saying that we are going to get a clear answer to the Upside Down and why it is the way it is very exciting to hear. Now, I know I said that was the last thing, but I just remembered there was another small detail I do want to talk about very quick in regards to this finale. The Duffer Brothers in this interview actually revealed that they pushed for the season 5 finale to be shown in theaters, to the unfortunate disapproval by Netflix, saying that they said that was absolutely a no-go. Which is just unfortunate. I'm not going to talk too much about this. I think we can all agree when I say that we would have loved to go to a theater and see the finale on a big screen, where honestly it deserves to be seen. Now, of course, I have no issue watching it from the comfort of my home on New Year's, but I think Netflix definitely missed out on a big opportunity here. 1, to regain some of the money they spent on this crazy budget for Stranger Things, and 2, to just capture an amazing moment in cinema and television history by allowing fans to go out and see the conclusion of their favorite series on the big screen. And of course, the Duffer Brothers are leaving Netflix to go to Paramount to pursue theatrical releases, and I'm sure this was definitely the nail in the coffin for them when it came to this discussion about trying to push Stranger Things into theaters and Netflix saying no. Which again, I don't have too much to say about that. It's just very unfortunate that we're not going to be able to get to see that. Either way, I'm still very excited for the finale, especially after these new details have been revealed by the Duffer Brothers themselves. And that is all I have for today's video. I really want to know what you have to say about all of this finale news down in the comments below now. As always, I'm going to be reading and responding to all of those comments as they come in. And while you're at it, if you can leave a like on the video if you enjoyed, that would be great. And as always, subscribe to the channel if you're new. I want to thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day.